All right, I'm gonna be snapping some video on how to remove a small block Chevy. This is a 1985 K20. It's got a 4-inch lift. Gonna have to get creative with how to get this out. So far, I've undone the front fan shroud, and that's just these bolts right here. There's little nuts on the bottom. So I pulled that off, and then I pulled the fan off. It just has 4 little nuts. The joys of working on these older trucks, you never know if the bolts are going to be the same size, so I'm just going to leave sizes out of the mix. I'm going to get this disconnected, these disconnected out of there. I'm going to spray some WD-40 on it, get the lower one disconnected, and then that lower radiator hose disconnected. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let it drain. On the other side, there's a little tab right down there that you twist, and it drains it out. Okay, remove the 2 brackets, drained it out, removed everything on the passenger side of the radiator, and it just pulls right out. And now I'm gonna take this shroud off. It looks like there's 2 bolts down under. You can see right there, and then over there, so I'll just crawl under there and zip them out. Okay, we got all the radiator and the fan shroud out. There's just those 2 bolts on the bottom, pulls right out. There's little grommets down there for the radiator and up here too, so it reduces the vibrations. Okay, we're under the truck now. I'm just trying to assess. This is the starter. This is my engine. This is transmission. I'm trying to zip off. These are the stock headers. So I have 1 bolt out so far. And that puppy broke hard right here. So yeah, I'm expecting all these bolts to break. I'm gonna take the starter off, disconnect some bolts down here, try to zip the exhaust off. So that's where I'm at. And then I'll go back to the top side. But here's my mounts too. So you can see engine mount. And yeah, I should probably buy new mounts. But it's just this 1 bolt right here. Theoretically, that I'll have to zip out, and then it should be able to pull out, and then disconnect the fuel line down here, the starter, get this hose disconnected too. I think there's a bolt somewhere holding stuff on, and it should be good for the most part. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. This is just a rough overview. Oh yeah, I disconnect this guy. And this is missing the bolt already. Great sign. And yeah, no, just zip crap apart. Okay, starter top view. I'm gonna disconnect that wire right there. Get that unplugged. I think it'll be easier to get to the exhaust because it's kind of tucked up right there. The other side's gonna be freaking easy to get that exhaust. Or knock on wood. There's no wood around. So yeah. Let me get those wires off. Okay, starter's out. You can see that. I'm gonna pull off this brace, that brace, and I'm gonna undo all these bolts. And hopefully this is just like a cover. That's what I'm thinking it is. And then that's what can all come off. I don't know if it's gonna free up much, but it's gotta come off regardless. I think. Once again, rookie. But yeah, starter's easy. You do those 2 wires right there. Now this is gonna be upside down, but then those 2 bolts, zip it all apart. Got the headers, if you can call them that. The exhaust manifolds, my bad, not headers. Those things are garbage. Disconnected from the rest of the exhaust. Starter's out. Flex plate covers off. I'm not gonna start tackling like this heater core hose right here and just start working back. I'm gonna start yeeting a lot, like all this air pump crap I'm never gonna use again. So I'm just gonna cut that crap off and call it a day. This carb, a lot of these hoses are about to just get yanked off and thrown right there in my little trash can. Because I could care less, they're all old and brittle. So I'll get to that point. Wow, look how much cleaner that is. I'm just yeeting all that crap, just threw it all away. I know there's some guys gonna be watching this. It's like, oh, you should have saved that module right there. Dude, forget the smog. It's stupid. Like, it's an old motor that runs like garbage to begin with. So I just need to disconnect this module right there, get the wires ran up from underneath here that are to the starter. So that's gonna be fun. Disconnect the alternator wires, disconnect this ground right here, disconnect that connection, loop all the wires, like all those, get all those wires up and out. Same with this side, up and out. And then I'll pull, I don't know, both are gonna happen. I might pull the carburetor off right now just to kind of clean it up. Not like clean up the carburetor, but clean up the area, and then pull the distributor. That way the top's gonna be pretty much done. And you don't have to pull the carb, you have to pull all the wires out. I'm using carb, like you mount the lifting plate on the carb and then jack it up from there. The reason I'm doing that is because this truck has a 4-inch lift on it. All right, yeah, I tried to turn it over. There's been a bunch of more mystery oil. Woo! In it, it still won't turn over. Engine still seized. That kind of sucks, but I'll adapt and overcome, to say the least. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll have to just slide the engine forward a few inches and then start jacking it up. But regardless, I'll get it out. This isn't the first small block Chevy to ever seize up. We got all this unplugged. This is to the carb. Chase wires back. That's the oil sender, or oil pressure sender. Carb's off, distributor's out. Distributor's held in just by this one bolt. On this one, you have to take the cap off to get it out. Carb is held in by these 4 bolts. And all the BS, this and that. And now this can get disconnected. There's just that greasy little bolt back there. And man, we're getting so close. All right, it's another day here working on the old small block. I got some help with me today, so hopefully we'll be getting this whole thing out. I failed to mention that, do you see that wire back there? That wire is plumbed to a sensor right down there, so I had to disconnect that. What we'll be doing is disconnecting the fuel line to the fuel pump, which is down in there. You can follow this fuel line from the carb. It goes down. And then we disconnect the hoses to the power steering pump. So we're gonna get going on that and go from there. The fuel line disconnected, I just cut the freaking hose going to it. But the other one I was able to get off. We got the power steering done. We're undoing the bolts from the transmission to the engine. And what else are we squaring? Oh, we're taking off the fill line as well as that air line that goes to the transmission. So we're gonna pull those out, and I think we should be good once all the bolts are out. We'll then hit the mounts and go from there. I was just editing and I noticed I didn't show where the bolts were because my buddy was the one that was removing the bolts. There's the bolts, and there are the alignment pins as well. So that's what I meant by you have to crowbar it apart. We got it ground on this back right here that goes up. And then we have that guy that went in right there. This is our oil pressure sender right there. I might take this off. I feel like it's gonna hit. Yeah. But we'll be on it. We got all the bolts out. We're gonna put the plate on, undo the mounts. We have to undo them a little special because motor seized, so we can't rotate the engine over to disconnect it from the torque converter. I got my buddy down there who is running a ratchet strap across the transmission to ensure that doesn't go bloop. That mount's pretty bad. I'm gonna be replacing that as well. And I think we'll be pretty squared away. All right, we got the plate hooked up. We're gonna go ahead and jack it up. All the bolts should be out theoretically. Yeah. Oh shoot, Cody, thanks for the help. She's out. We just used a crowbar to separate it. We had to get that shaft clear from the transmission shaft, and then we have a ratcheting strap holding it down. We're gonna get back to it and pull this out and put it on the bed of the truck and get going.